Did you know that without boron, the screen you're watching this video on right now might not even exist? It's true. This almost forgotten element of the periodic table, often hiding in the shadows of stars like carbon, silicon, or oxygen, plays a silent but powerful role in modern life. From the strength of spacecraft materials, to the vivid colors of fireworks, and even the fertilizers that feed the world's crops. Boron is one of those quiet heroes of chemistry that makes civilization as we know it possible. But few people actually know how or why. So today, let's unravel what this mysterious element is really used for. And I guarantee by the end of this video, you'll never look at glass, plants, or even magnets the same way again. Boron is a curious element because it sits in a kind of chemical middle ground, part metal, part non-metal. It doesn't behave like the metallic elements that easily lose electrons, nor like the classic non-metals that grab them greedily. It dances somewhere between, and that gives it a unique personality. This versatility is what makes boron so useful across science and industry. For example, one of its most famous appearances is in something you've seen thousands of times but probably never noticed. Borosilicate glass, the kind used in laboratory flasks, or even in kitchenware like Pyrex. That special glass doesn't crack under sudden temperature changes because boron atoms help to stabilize the silica network, making it far more resistant to heat shock than ordinary glass. Imagine boiling water in a glass beaker. Without boron, that beaker would shatter in seconds. And that's just the beginning. If you've ever seen bright green flames in fireworks, that's boron putting on a show. Its compounds, when burned, release that vivid green glow that turns a regular firework into a spectacle. But beyond the fireworks, boron's role in the world is much more serious and essential. In agriculture, for instance, boron is a micronutrient for plants. Without it, crops can't properly form cell walls or move sugars through their tissues. Entire harvests can fail if the soil is deficient in boron. So next time you see a field full of corn or a tree heavy with fruit, remember that tiny, invisible traces of boron are working behind the scenes to make that growth possible. Speaking of working behind the scenes, boron is also a silent protector in nuclear reactors. That's right. Boron has an incredible ability to absorb neutrons, which helps control the nuclear reactions that produce energy. It acts as a sort of moderator that keeps things safe and stable. Without boron, managing nuclear energy would be far more dangerous. And here's something to think about. Next time someone mentions clean energy, remember that boron might play a key role in the nuclear energy transition of the future. Would you have guessed that an element you rarely hear about could be part of making our energy safer? Tell me in the comments if you already knew about this nuclear side of boron, because I'm betting most people don't. But it doesn't stop there. Boron is making waves in cutting-edge technology, especially in materials science. When combined with carbon, it forms boron carbide, one of the hardest materials known. So hard that it's used in tank armor and bulletproof vests. It's lighter than steel, yet incredibly tough. Scientists even use it to make neutron shields for spacecraft, protecting delicate instruments from cosmic radiation. So when you think of astronauts floating safely in space, know that boron might literally be part of what's keeping them alive. Pretty wild, right? Drop a comment telling me what surprised you most so far. Its use in glass, agriculture, or maybe space technology? I'd love to see what catches your attention. And if you're into electronics, here's where things get even more interesting. Boron helps in the production of semiconductors, the very heart of our smartphones, computers, and even solar panels. It's used as a dopant, meaning it subtly tweaks the electrical properties of silicon to make it conduct electricity in just the right way. Without boron's delicate influence, modern electronics as we know them wouldn't exist. Think about that. Every message you send, every video you watch, every click you make, it all depends, in part, on boron. It's strange how something so small, so seemingly obscure, can have such a massive impact on how we live and communicate. But there is another side to boron's story that is even more fascinating: the search for boron-based fuels. Scientists are investigating boron as a potential clean energy carrier because it has an incredibly high energy density. That means, theoretically, boron could one day power spacecraft or even future vehicles far more efficiently than traditional fuels. The catch? Controlling how boron reacts with oxygen is still a major challenge. But if that challenge is overcome, boron might become the cornerstone of an entirely new energy revolution. Can you imagine a world where our vehicles run on boron instead of gasoline? It sounds like science fiction, but the research is already happening. And while we're on the topic of the future, here is one of those mind-bending details. Boron may also play a role in the next generation of medical treatments. Some compounds containing boron are being explored for targeted cancer therapies, where they could help deliver radiation directly to tumors without harming healthy cells. It is one of those breathtaking examples of how the smallest things in chemistry can make the biggest difference in human health. So, from protecting crops to protecting astronauts, from powering smartphones to possibly powering rockets, boron proves that even the most modest elements on the periodic table can hold some of the greatest secrets of modern science. Next time you use a glass dish or charge your phone, think about this unsung hero quietly holding it all together. And if you are just as amazed as I am by how something so overlooked can be so essential, go ahead and hit that like button. It really helps this kind of science reach more curious minds. And before you go, tell me in the comments, which element do you think deserves the spotlight next? Maybe we'll uncover its hidden powers in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss it, because every atom has a story, and boron's is just one of many waiting to be told.